This is us, floating on a rock suspended in the vastness of space. There are approximately 8 billion people sharing this planet. But is this number too high? The Earth's surface area is around 510 million square kilometers. When you divide this by the 8.1 billion people on our planet, each person would have approximately 0.0628 square kilometers of space. To make it simpler, let's visualize it. The entire area is roughly 62,800 square meters. If we imagine this space as a square, each side would be approximately 251 meters long. Now, picture a towering 10-meter tall tree under which you stand. However, let's reconsider our planet. A significant 70.8% of its surface is covered by water. That's the portion that will occupy your space. So, you're left with a square width of 73 meters. If we have ample space, why do we hear about overpopulation? Not every corner of the Earth is inhabited because some areas are inhospitable. They might be too hot or too cold, and the terrain can pose challenges, making daily life more difficult. While certain regions remain sparsely populated, others are bustling with life. In essence, overpopulation refers to a scenario where the number of people in an area surpasses the environment's ability to support and renew its resources. In essence, overpopulation refers to a scenario where the number of people in an area surpasses the environment's ability to support and renew its resources. The growing human presence places stress on ecosystems, resulting in deforestation, habitat destruction, pollution, and a decline in biodiversity. However, overpopulation extends beyond environmental challenges. The rapid growth in population can strain essential infrastructure, impacting healthcare, education, sanitation, and transportation, ultimately diminishing the quality of services provided. Overpopulation can exacerbate poverty, unemployment, and social unrest, as resources may fall short of meeting the needs of a rapidly growing population. Overpopulation is not uniformly spread across the globe, resulting in disparities in resource consumption, economic development, and access to essential services. A larger population further contributes to heightened emissions of carbon dioxide and other pollutants, contributing to the challenges of climate change and environmental issues. As of today, the global population has exceeded 8 billion people. Contrast that with the scenario 200 years ago when there were only 8 times fewer individuals, approximately 1 billion. So, the question arises, what now? Is it too late? Let's rewind about 12,000 years. At that time, primitive humans faced daily struggles for survival, hunting, gathering nature's gifts, and constantly evading predators. As humans developed, they created ways to make life easier, cultivating their own crops and gathering resources that enabled them to live more comfortably. However, people remained oblivious to the existence of batteries or viruses that could cause premature death. And so the years passed with agriculture, hunting, and wars, until we reached the 18th century. This century witnessed remarkable development and progress, the so-called Industrial Revolution. During this period, mass production using machines commenced. Numerous jobs were created, offering an improved way of life in factories, mines, or ironworks. This marked the onset of a massive migration of people from rural areas to cities, where, along with employment opportunities, there were improved standards of hygiene and medical care. All these factors combined to create a longer and reasonably stable life, fostering increased fertility. In a brief span, areas with high population density were becoming increasingly crowded until the issue gained recognition and became a widely discussed topic. Awareness of sex education has started to grow, and there has been an increase in access to contraception. Encouragement for small family models began, as the mortality rate of offspring decreased, and a majority of people were now living to adulthood. Several countries, where population growth posed a more significant challenge than in other parts of the world, implemented policies to address this issue. In 1979, China introduced a one-child policy. Couples adhering to the one-child rule received preferential treatment, including financial incentives, improved access to education, and better health care. Violations of the policy could lead to financial penalties, job loss, or social repercussions. In 2016, China relaxed the policy to a two-child system, and in 2021, it further adjusted to a three-child policy, acknowledging the importance of achieving demographic balance. Similarly, countries such as India, Iran, Bangladesh, Thailand, Vietnam, and South Korea have implemented various measures to encourage citizens to adopt the small family model. What is the current global outlook on population growth? Let's examine a map illustrating the global birth rate in 2021. What do the various colors represent? At the legend below, you can see the correlation between each color and the population change in a country. For example, in a country with a population of 30 million, a positive growth rate of 1% would lead to an increase of 300,000 people. Conversely, if the growth rate is negative, leaning towards red rather than blue, it indicates that more people are dying than new citizens are being born in that country. Before we attempt to forecast the future global population, let's delve into the fascinating experiment conducted by John B. Calhoun, who introduced the term behavioral sink. The renowned mouse experiment occurred in 1970, featuring a square habitat measuring 2.7 meters with a height of 1.4 meters. The environment provided unlimited access to water, food containers, nest boxes, and nesting material. There were no predators, and the only constraint was space. 4 pairs of mice were introduced into the habitat. The favorable conditions led to rapid mouse reproduction, with the population doubling approximately every 55 days. The population reached 620 individuals by day 315, following which the growth rate slowed significantly. There was a breakdown in animal behavior as dominant males lost their ability to defend territories, and females became aggressive, resulting in injuries and the abandonment of their young. The maximum population was achieved by day 560, reaching 2,200 mice, even though there was enough space for 3,840 individuals. The final birth occurred on day 600. At this point, females ceased reproduction, and males no longer engaged in territory defense or bonding with females. Their activities were limited to what was necessary for survival. The population started to decline, and after 1,000 days, some of the mice were transferred to other studies. This occurred because these mammals form social groups with specific roles, typically including males defending territories against predators. In a controlled, predator-free environment, roles were disrupted. Younger generations didn't learn self-protection, relying on older individuals. The high density led to quick role loss for older individuals, and disrupted social patterns passed down caused a breakdown in society. Could humanity experience a similar breakdown of values, and if so, when? The experiment witnessed the first signs of male indifference and female aggression on day 315, coinciding with the slowing of population growth. Humanity took about 123 years to double its number from 1 billion to 2. It took only 47 years to double again from 2 to 4 billion. The last doubling took longer, at 49 years. The projected figure for the next 60 years does not predict a doubling of the current population to 16 billion. Since the doubling time has lengthened and we are unlikely to get a doubling of the current population, does this mean that social values will soon crumble? We, as humans, possess an advantage over the mice in the experiment. We are aware of the overpopulation issue on our planet, and measures have already been initiated to address it. The second noteworthy point is that in the case of mice, when juveniles fail to find their role in society, they typically migrate under natural conditions. However, the mice in the confined area were deprived of this opportunity. In an isolated environment where mice didn't have to compete for basic resources like food, water, or nesting materials, they were deprived of these essential roles. Our reality on this planet does not offer such conveniences. As humans, we have numerous roles to fulfill in our society, but that's a story for another video.